I wasn't entirely sure. I know a few of you have things happening today. So I think all of you are doing the recording. I'm actually we've just moved house. And so this is not going, I don't think this is going to be my permanent setup. It's just in the lounge room. I just haven't yet had time to sort of feel into the space, and there's a really lovely area out in the undercover area by the pool that I was actually thinking might be quite nice. So watch that space. But this is certainly a nice, comfortable place for us to be. So I'm really excited to share this theme today, which is the masculine and feminine energies that exist within each of us. And I'm sure that all of you are well aware of these energies within us, and that every human being holds these, that they make up. It's I love studying the sister science of Ayurveda, and even, you know, there's many aspects like within the science of Ayurveda that describes the masculine and feminine energies as well. So we tend to think of it in a very tangible form as being like male and female. However, every male and female holds both of these energies. So we're going to explore these energies within us, and the reason why it's a very potent time and a very potent opportunity for us to do so. In some of the work that I have been doing, that I partake in for my own spiritual growth and personal sort of evolution, is there's a very big theme in the collective at the moment for unifying the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies within us. And each and every one of us, these energies play their role and express themselves in our the unique way that our vessel and our soul in this incarnation, you know, it's kind of like the culmination of the life experiences. And if you want to go as far back to take in even past life experiences, even within the body, we hold not just our own trauma, but we hold generational trauma. There could be aspects of even a nationwide or cultural aspects that sort of all imprint on our nervous system, so that on the theme of masculine and feminine, we all express these and have to heal these in very, very different, unique ways. However, we can still observe and reflect and explore them in a sort of structured class like this. So we'll just speak into it a little bit more before we begin. So let's think about the masculine energy within us. Now, this energy is one that is related to the physicality of our body. It also relates to the root chakras. The root chakra is a masculine energy center. But I guess you could even go as far to say that each energy center probably holds an element of both as well. And it is the energy of holding. So you could say that as well, that it's that foundation. It's, you know, it's the structure and form of the vessel. Okay. It's the I am, you know, I am here kind of energy. And even if you just close your eyes for a moment, and if you wish to put your hand on your heart, or you might even wish to put it on the power center, because the solar plexus is one of the masculine energy centers or chakras. And it's this energy of, I am here, I am present, I am here now, I have a right to be here. I am this sovereign being. And sort of just see, how does your body respond to that? Do you feel firmly planted in your, yourself, in this physical form that you are and that you be? Another affirmation or statement that you could have here is, I be. I be here. Okay, and I also love to sort of sit with the concept that masculine energy solidifies. So when we gain knowledge and wisdom and full embodiment of a concept, this is the solidification of it. And you could say that, like, the knowledge is the masculine and then the embodiment is the feminine. So only when you have both of those aspects of wisdom come together, you have that solidification. So that sort of speaks a little bit into that masculine energy. And we could think also that the masculine, so this has been a big part of my journey. I've been very, very aware that my masculine, because masculine energy is very consistent. It thrives off routine and structure, but it also is the present awareness. And when we go back to the Ayurvedic story of creation, the masculine energy is the seer, it's the observer, the inner witness. Excuse me. So feel into, even if you close your eyes, and tune into that part of yourself that is the seer. That is the observer. Okay. And then we'll switch to the feminine energy. Oh, sorry, I've just gotten this. All of a sudden, irritating throat. Sometimes it can just be a little bit of an energy that just needs to shift and move. All right. So the feminine energy. And again, closing your eyes, and this is a nice one to connect into the heart space. And the feminine energy is the energy, so whereas the masculine is the energy of holding space, the feminine is to receive. Okay, so we could, whereas masculine is the seer, the feminine is the feel. I feel, I receive all the pleasures of life. Okay, I feel that the feminine energy is quite an activating energy. It really gets, things, we can, with the feminine energy, we can use that masculine sort of seeing to observe, okay, where is the energy blocked in the body and how can I activate that using that feminine sort of the flow of the energy in the body. So we have the vessel, the structure and the form, and then we invite the flow. And think also what's really, really important is that the masculine needs to lead the way, to create the space, to create the structure, the container. Okay, it's the same as marking something in your diary. Okay, that's the masculine, and then the feminine is allowing yourself to to flow into that and to receive. Once you've set it in place, you then, receive the, you embody the intention of what was there. So it's really nice, just observing what sort of resonates for you as you explore these concepts. Now, if you wish, we're going to move into posture. So if you do want to begin, do this next little section before we move into that on your back, we're going to begin on the back with the posture. So you're welcome to lie down, or you're welcome to stay seated just for a few more moments. And I just want you to reflect one more time on, what do I feel within me right now? So after speaking into these two energies within us and within every person, what am I aware of? What do I feel? Can I feel my structure and form? Can I tune in and notice the observer within me? Am I aware of my sense of energetic flow within my being? And then a really useful exercise also is to take it just beyond the vessel and reflect out to your life the manifestation of these energies. So how does it reflect and mirror to you in your life? And so one of the, actually, I went to speak into this just a few moments, I got a little bit sidetracked, is one of the things that I really have been working on for many years, to be fair, is that an awareness that, number one, that there was a real imbalance between my masculine and feminine, but also number two, that I lacked. There's aspects of my life where I hold consistency well, but then there's also others where I don't. Okay, so that's been a big aspect for me. I can literally feel this aspect of myself unifying more and more. Okay, and so what I could see in my life was that I might, I'd have this kind of wave of this ebb and flow. And so this is a very, very feminine expression, whereas the masculine is going to help hold us with a little bit more consistency. Okay, because we show up for it. It's that sense of willpower. We show up for ourselves and follow through in the way that we wish to express. So just take a little moment to reflect on your own life and explore, okay, how does consistency look for me? Routine and structure. And perhaps for somebody that's not at all a problem. Sometimes we might be too rigid. Do we allow the masculine to dominate us? And as a result, don't allow ourselves to receive the blessings of life and to relax and let our hair down. And, to just fully be in receivership of whatever gifts life is gifting us. And these are nice things just to reflect on as we move into the practice. All right, so if you're not already lying down, come onto your back. We are going to begin with just a little sequence, working through some sort of what I am, what's the word? Interpreting as a feminine expression of the practice. Okay, so anything that's going to activate the body, and I know for me there's a little bit of a sense today that my body feels a little bit drained of life force energy. I feel just physically in my body a little bit tired. Now that might not be the case for you, but I really love to work with getting the prana flowing through the body, releasing some of those blockages, because it just gives it that little bit of vitality to move through the practices. So coming onto your back, we're just going to start with some nice easy hip circles. All right, so you can extend one leg out Now, let's just tap. So just using one knee and just making some circles. Now you don't have to hold on. You could have aeroplane arms here if that was comfortable for you. And we all know our hips are the place of vitality in the body. So if the hips become a little bit tight, especially if we've been sitting all day for work, we can get a little bit stagnant in the hips, and the energy flowing down into our feet can become a little bit sort of lacking. So make sure you change directions. And so this is such a nice, easy practice to help stimulate that flow. Making the circles as big or as small as you need to. A little bit of activation through the lower abdominals there, kind of pressing lower back towards the ground just to stabilize you. Let's rest that one and we'll move to the other side. If you like, closing the eyes. And then change directions. And setting that intention, using the observer, the seer within, to place the attention on the hip joint with the intention of getting that life force energy flowing well between the feet, the legs, and the trunk of the body. All right, good. So let's, when we've completed that one, just going to move into a twist. So you can have aeroplane arms out to the side. You could keep one leg straight, bring the other one up, just rolling over, finding any comfortable twist that works for you. Just staying for about 5 breaths here. If you like, making a little bit of a breath in and then exhale through the mouth. And with each exhale breath, we'll do 2 more. Just notice how the body can just try and or begin to surrender. 1 more. Good. And then slowly roll back onto your back, swap your legs. Breathing in and exhale. Finding your twist on the other side. 5 nice big deep breaths. Really allowing that sense of release. Good. All right, and then just coming back. We'll make our way up to sitting next. Make sure I've got that right. So just coming up however you like. If you do a little rock and roll over your spine, or just turn to the side, make your way up. Now you can either sit on the floor here. I think it's probably best to actually to stay on the floor if you can, or if you need the chair, that's okay as well. And don't forget that you can use a little prop just to tuck under the coccyx and the back of the bottom. So just some nice simple neck rolls. So we're going to do half circles. So starting from one side here and just rolling side to side. It's nice and gentle, nice and flowing. Just opening up that space between the base of the skull and the top of the spine. If you don't have any neck issues, you could lift the chin a little bit and make a full circle. But really keep lifting the head up lengthening out the spine. Let's do a couple in each direction. Really reinvigorating the neck. Good. And then slowly bring it back to the center. So we're going to move into the sunrise practice. Now you're welcome to either do this, from the seated position or on a chair, okay? Or if your knees don't mind, you could also do a little bit more of an active version of this posture on your knees, which I'm going to do. So it's just feet like this. Okay. And you start back here, kind of leaning on your feet, sort of crouching in. So just to show you sideways, it's like a bit of a rounding here. Now exhale and squeeze that tummy in as well, okay? And then breathe in. Turn the palms up to the sky, thumbs back, and really reaching. So send the hips forward, the pelvis, and then exhale. So inhale, open the front of the heart, squeeze the buttocks to support yourself, and then exhale. Sorry, just squeezing the buttocks if you're on your knees like me. Breathing in and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So just notice that this is quite a flowing sequence here. We're really working with our breath to activate the body, to get that life force energy flowing so that we can receive the fullness of the practice. Let's do 2 more. Good. And then just release your hands. All right. We're going to work with a crescent lunge now, but we're going to do this in a couple of different stages because I'm aware it can be a fairly challenging posture. So first of all, what I'm going to do is show you the posture with a chair. And you may actually prefer, even if you don't usually use a chair, you might prefer to do this practice with it. Okay. So I'm just going to pop my chair with that front side, the back of the chair here, and just step one, come into this position, and I'm fairly close to the front of the chair, and I'm going to just let this part of me sit, and then it's going to depend on how this hip flexor goes for you, but depending on how much you can straighten this leg. Now, with a traditional, you could do the crescent lunge, like this. Some people are so bendy that they can be back here. I'm not that bendy. You could also do your crescent lunge with your arms interlaced like this. Okay, and again, depending on your neck, just explore what feels good for you. And of course, if that feels too much, just have your hands on your hip and maybe grasp the back of your chair. So that's a little bit more of a supported version if you don't wish to hold yourself up. Okay, and just to show you, if you want the practice on the floor, you can do a nice version on the floor. Just like this. So finding, your lunge, a little bit of a different feeling here. You might need to do a couple of little lunges like this just to open up. And then you could work with it a little bit differently. Using that, left hand on the left knee for support. And then you could even, just to show you the other modification, you could choose to stay with it here like this. Breathing into it. Good. All right. Fairly intense posture. So switching sides now. So if you're on your chair, obviously jumping up and facing in the opposite direction. I'm just going to do it on the floor. And depending on which modification you are doing, you might need to just do a couple of little lunges there. Just to loosen up. And just noticing what tension do you feel in the hip flexor. And you could really even say that the psoas and the hip flexor are quite a masculine aspect of our physical structure, because it's that fight or flight response. All right, and then finding your own expression of your crescent lunge or your low lunge. Just play with it. And this again is this feminine energy of play and exploration, of creation, okay? And then just choosing, if you want to take a few breaths, kind of coming into the fullness of your pose, breathing through it, allowing that breath just to deepen the practice. Feel into your edge, your boundary. Which is also another aspect of our feminine, knowing that that dynamic exchange between, you know, our boundaries, our edges, not just in the physical form, but in the energetic. All right. So when you're ready, slowly make your way out of that. And we're just going to come onto our feet next for waterfall pose. So just making it nice and comfortable for yourself. And grab a hold of your elbows, a little bend through the knees, and again, I like to make figure of eights with my elbows. Let the head drop so that the neck is free. And just swaying side to side. And feel that breath moving into your belly. Notice if there's a sense of any tension in the body beginning to release. Just breathing through it. Good. And then just release your hands. Ooh, all right. Then we're going to slowly roll ourselves up. Just placing hands on the hips and just working with some figure of eights of our hips. And again, just closing your eyes. And I want you to really visualize the pelvic structure. And the pelvis is important because this is the place that is like it's the, you know, that symbolic chalice or holding of the creative energy, the creator force within us. And so again, just noticing, what does the sacrum feel like? What do the hips feel like? How does it feel to move side to side? Sometimes if we have a little bit of a physical imbalance present, we might notice that as we change directions, that the movement feels a little bit different. Might not feel like it flows quite as easy. Or perhaps it does. Knowing that everyone is different. There's not really a right or a wrong here. The only right or wrong in this practice is that which keeps our body safe and our nervous system safe and our mental health safe. So just allowing yourself to feel that lovely sense of flow. Hopefully, just feeling a sense of activation and flow now in your body. Perhaps just take a little moment before we proceed to the next part of the practice, just to bring the hands together to the heart. And just notice, what do I feel? What activation can I feel in my body? We're going to move into some breath awareness now. So you are welcome to use a chair if you have one that was fine, or if you're quite okay, sitting on your couch or the ground. So we're going to work with starting to introduce some of this masculine aspect, and very simply starting with the square breath, which you've all done. And it's that breath where we breathe in and out through the nose. We count to 4, and we go in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Now, this is a very good breath to work with, to explore masculine energy within the body, because it has a very clearly defined structure, and it includes all 4 aspects of the breath, which is the inhale, the hold, the exhale, and the hold. And I can never remember the actual set. There's kumbhaka and I can like read chakra or something. I can never quite remember the Sanskrit terms for each of those phases of the breath. But what is important is that we understand them. So we'll move a little bit deeper into that in a moment. Let's do 5 rounds of our square breath through the nose. Now, the nose, the nasal breath, I'd like you to just, as I speak through this now, just begin with a hand on your belly, just breathing in and out through the nose. Just normal breath to start with. And then just take a few breaths through the mouth, in and out through the mouth. And then come back to the nasal breath, mouth closed. And especially focus on your belly. And what you might notice is that there's a better sense of control when we work with the nasal breath. So nasal breathing correlates with the element of earth, which also correlates with masculine form and structure in the body. So it helps with the consistency. It helps to bring steadiness into the being. Okay, so I want you to focus on steadiness as we begin this practice. So let's start with an exhale breath. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and then breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. Feel the squeeze. 2, 3, 4, and breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. Feel that fullness of the breath. 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. Tummy back to the spine. Feel the contraction. And then breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Let's do one more round. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Tummy back to the spine, hold. You might even be able to contract the pelvic floor. 3, 4, and then breathing in. 2, 3, 4, lengthening up through the spine, holding the breath in. 2, 3, 4, and release. Good. So we're going to pay a little bit more attention now on each phase of the breath. And I'm going to invite you to explore the idea that the feminine aspect of this sequencing of our breath is the taking in and then the letting go. Okay, and then you could say that the masculine aspect of it is when we get to the height and the fullness in full receivership of the breath, and we hold that, we retain that. Okay, and we stay in steadiness, and just observe that phase. What presents? How does it feel for you in your body? And then how does it feel to let go? Really paying attention to each subtle aspect. I'm just going to make sure, yes, it's still fine. Each subtle aspect of this, because there's a lot to be gained about these energies with this one simple breath practice. So feeling the exhale, the surrender, the letting go. Okay, and then when we get to the bottom, the emptiness of the breath, we could even call it the void. And then we hold that before. So how does this feel to hold that in the steadiness, in the stillness? How does my form, how does my vessel feel in the emptiness, in the void? And then once again, breathing in and receiving, taking. How well are you able to receive? Okay, I know there's been people, and even myself, depending on the state of your being, sometimes it can be hard to take in a full breath. So really observe, again, be playful and present. Observe what shows up for you. So we're going to do the practice. Now, if you feel, let's move to 5 counts. If at home you find that that's a little bit too much, you might need to just do this practice in your own count to 4. Or you might even be able to extend it out longer and just fast forward until we get to the end. So we're just going to do another 5 rounds, and we're going to do it this time to the count of 5. Okay. So let's start with the exhale breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold and squeeze. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, take in the breath. 3, 4, 5, and at the height of the breath, holding there in the stillness. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then exhale, release it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then holding in the steadiness there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Take it in, receive, expand to the fullest potential, and then hold it there. Feel all of it. Notice, observe. What do you see? And then exhale to release it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze and hold. Feel that, even just tuning into the tension as we hold there. 3, 4, 5, and breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Even just taking in more and more. Reach the fullest. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then exhale. Feel every muscle just release back down to the ground. 3, 4, 5, and then hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do one final round. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, letting go, surrendering. 3, 4, 5, and then holding. 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. All right, we're going to move back into a little bit of posture. Just take a moment just to be with that. And even just taking a little mental note, were there any aspects to that breath that felt a little bit more challenging for you? Was it in the taking in or letting go? Did it feel, was there any, so things to pick up on is, are you able to do that with a sense of steadiness, taking the breath, or is it a little bit like stop-starty? And then the same with the hold. Okay, when you hold at the top and at the bottom, what pressure is building up in you? Are you able to get to the 5 without it becoming too intense? So those are just a couple of little areas for you to reflect on. All right, let's move into a little bit of a short posture practice, working with some of our masculine holding in the body. They're going to come to stand here for this part, and we're just going to work first with our mountain pose. So coming into a standing posture. Now, if you wish, if you feel comfortable, feet apart like myself, and we're going to work with a fairly solid version of our mountain pose today. So in traditional practice, I know back in my Ashtanga days, we really used to lock the kneecaps up. And maybe let's actually do that. Let's actually lock them up towards the thighs so that we activate the thighs. Let's lift our toes up for a moment and just really press down through the balls of our feet. Find activation through the legs. Okay, strong thighs. A little bit of a squeeze through the buttocks to hold. A lift up through the heart. Broaden the chest. Okay, activate your fingers, like spread them wide. And then lift and lengthen the whole of the body so that the crown of the head extends up towards the sky. Okay. Notice the lower back. Okay. Notice where the pelvis is. All right. Even if you just need to play with that for a little bit, and you'll know that it's right when you feel lower abdominal engaged just a little to support you. Nice posture, looking forward. All right, so, and let's tense. So a little bit of a squeeze between the shoulder blades at the back, upper back, squeezing those in, and just really feeling this strength in your body, in your physical vessel. Even visualizing strength in the mind, visualizing one of those lovely pyramid mountains of the Sunshine Coast. Solid, firm, stable, strong, present. And see that clearly with super sharp vision in your mind. And then when you're ready, just soften into it a little bit. And so we can add a little bit of that feminine to a mountain pose by just letting those kneecaps unlock, which allows the flow of the energy to move back through the legs. And just let the shoulders sort of drop. Don't let the tummy collapse too much. We want to hold ourselves there. We want to lift our heart. Just feeling a little bit more freedom. And once again, noticing that difference in your body. We're going to move into our warrior 3, a really beautiful practice just to feel our inner strength. And once again, we can, well, I think we might be all okay to do it standing. I actually think when I've tried to teach it on the chair, because you can have the chair underneath here, just a little bit like when we did the crescent lunge. But I do find people actually just prefer to do it standing. All right, so coming in, now remember with your warrior three, the hips are squared off to the side. Okay, so not to the front like this. So swing that back hip out so that back foot faces out to the side. All right, so the feet are at right angles to each other. We've got a bend in our front knee, okay, and then just swing the body forwards and backwards a few times, okay, swing the legs, exploring the strength, tucking, lengthening, finding a bit of space here so that we feel, our strength. Tap into this sort of solid form of the body, this strength. All right, we really want to feel that we support ourselves nicely here. When you feel ready, let's actually just bring our hands out. We're going to face up to the sky first. Now, if your leg gets a little bit sore, you can just do a little straighten and then a bend again. Okay, so I like this version because it helps us to roll the shoulders back and find that opening. And we don't want to be reaching forward, we want to reach back. Good. Now, if you feel like it, you can turn your palms and then gaze over that front middle finger. So that's the drishti, the looking point. And that also helps to instill a little bit of discipline in the mind, to focus the mind. So we can really tune into our sense of inner strength, our solidity, a sense of presence, our awareness. This strength that we hold in our body. When you feel ready, you can slowly release those arms and then just rotate your feet. So use your feminine flow just to kind of activate and to find your spot, your place of comfort, your edge, okay, to activate those muscles, get that flow happening. Okay, we generally lock this back leg in so it's fairly firm and strong. Okay, make sure this knee doesn't roll in too much. Try and send it back. Okay, all right, and then working with your pelvis, your hips, sort of playing around with it a little bit so that we really feel, tap into our sense of alignment, our sense of strength. Just notice, what do I feel? How does my body feel? What feels challenging here? All right, and then once you feel like you're ready, bring those hands out. Start with the palms up. Feel a little bit of freedom at the tops of the shoulders here. Okay, so be mindful if you're squeezing up to your ears, let them drop. Okay, and then when you're ready, flip those hands over, gaze over that middle finger. Warrior, warrior three. Breathing. Just notice the steadiness of your breath. Firm gaze at the middle finger. And focus. Notice the way that your pelvis supports you. Good. And then if we're ready, you can slowly release. And just release your front foot. Maybe wiggle them back into the middle. Give yourself a bit of a shake. All right. Beautiful. So we're going to do our heart breath. Now, this one, I'm pretty sure you've all done this. And it is a really nice practice, I think. Again, it's activating, but I like it because it makes me feel really strong. I feel like it cultivates this strength and this sort of masculine holding energy. I feel a sense of empowerment myself when I do this practice. So that's my interpretation of it. As you do it, how does it show up for you in your body? So coming into your warrior one stance, now hips are squared off to the front of your mat or your practice area, okay? And I'm going to start with my right foot forward and, and the back foot, just a little bit of an angle there. All right, so we're going to do 5 of them, and it's breathing in, close, reaching back a little bit so we get a nice little stretch, and then hard breaths. All right, let's swap. Take a few moments to find your groove, get your steadiness, your ground. And that always comes first. So once again, I spoke at the beginning about the masculine leading the way. So the masculine aspect to all posture is finding your ground first, getting a solid foundation in the being, creating the structure, setting up for the structure. And then we allow ourselves to move into it. All right, so feet steady on the ground. When you're ready. Good. Whew. All right, we're going to come into our anchoring practice to solidify this. So hand mudra, I'll come in a little closer so you can see. We have ring and pinky sort of into towards the palm. We've got the 2 fingers straight, index and middle, and then the thumb over. And we're doing it on both hands, okay? Now, feet comfortable distance apart. Okay, fairly strong posture, just like our mountain pose, standing tall, standing strong. Now, I want you to close your eyes, and we're using our observer within, the seer. I want you to see that your energy permeates down into the earth, not just through your feet, but through your fingertips, the index and the middle finger of each hand. I want you to imagine that you are plugging into the earth, deep into the earth. And now in your mind's eye, I want you to hold firmly the vision of yourself standing strong, standing solid, anchoring in your presence, your sovereignty, anchoring in your I am. Holding the vision of yourself and all that you be, all that you wish to be, embodying and feeling that within you, within every cell, every molecule, every aspect of your being. Just breathing in and out through the nose. And when you're ready, we're going to invite the feminine. We're going to call it into the heart. So just slowly, very, very slowly, with your eyes closed, just bringing your hands up to meet at the heart. Release the hand mudra and just let the palms rest on the heart. And just notice whether you put the left palm first or the right, it doesn't matter. And again, with love of the self, and a sense of connection to the source energy, calling that presence into the heart. Imagine that that energetic signature of you radiates outward as a gift. Breathing into that, perhaps letting the mouth open, the jaw relax. A moment just to observe how the physical structure feels. When you feel ready, we'll move into the final phase of our practice, which is a meditation. So you're welcome to lay down on the ground or find yourself in a comfortable seated position. Whichever posture you choose to take, it's quite important that you feel like your spine is straight and that you have a sense that you're able to lengthen out, that you're able to hold yourself. So if you really struggle with slouching, it might be better for you to just allow yourself to receive this in a lying down posture. I'll just give you a moment to get yourself comfortable. Right. Just taking 3 breaths, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you feel comfortable making sound. And if you don't feel comfortable, just observing that discomfort and asking the question, why do I feel discomfort with making sound? And you don't need to answer it right now, just posing the question. Do one more breath. As you exhale the breath, just noticing a deep sense of letting go and surrendering into the space that you have set up for yourself. Allow yourself to receive and allow yourself to also hold the space. To activating that internal vision once again. I want you to take your attention now to your physical body. Closing down the eyes if you haven't already. And just tuning in. All of you that feels like the energetic signature of a masculine presence, a masculine holding. How do you hold yourself? How is your physical structure holding you? Bring awareness to the shape of your body. Just witness, just seeing, just observing. Notice your skin and imagine that your skin is like a container holding the energy. And then tune into your bones, your muscles. And using the structure of a systematic approach to take us on a little journey through this physical body. Let's begin with the toes. Taking your awareness to the second toe, the third toe, the fourth toes, or the pinky toe. Feeling the soles of your feet, taking your awareness to the soles of your feet. Take your awareness to the soles of your feet and then feel the soles of your feet. How do they feel? Bring your vision, your inner seeing to the top of your feet, with both of your feet, simultaneously. See the tops of your feet. And then feel, what is your felt sense of the tops of your feet? Bring your awareness now to your Achilles, to the back of your ankles. Visualize them in your mind and then feel your Achilles. How do they feel? Bring your awareness to your ankles, your left ankle and your right ankle. Observe your ankles. And then feel your left ankle and your right ankle. Bring your awareness to your shins and your calves. Hold that part of your lower leg in the vision of your mind, the lens of your mind. And then feel your lower legs. Bring your awareness to your knees. Observe your knees and feel your knees. Take your awareness to your upper legs, your thighs and your hamstrings. See them and feel them. Notice your hips. Visualize them in your mind's eye and then feel your left hip and your right hip. Take your awareness now to the whole of the pelvic structure. Visualize your pelvis. How does it look? How does your mind interpret your pelvis? And then feel the presence of energy. Feel the presence of spaciousness. Feel the awareness of density or heaviness in your pelvis. Take your awareness now to the sides of your waist, each side of your body, your left side and your right side. Visualize each side of your waist and then feel the left and feel the right. Notice your belly, space around your navel. Visualize your navel and feel the space at your belly. Notice your lower back, the big structure of your lumbar spine, holding your torso in all of its strength. Visualize those big vertebrae and then see if you can feel into the lower back. Notice your diaphragm muscle. Visualize that diaphragm muscle as that kind of like a big valve that separates the digestive system from your respiratory system. Imagine it like the shape of an umbrella or a big mushroom. And then I want you to feel your diaphragm, even if you just need to take a couple of little breaths to connect into it. Even taking your mind to right at the middle of your spine, in your back. And there's a point there, a ligament that joins your diaphragm to your spine. And I want you to see if you can feel that. And just trust your intuition, trust your felt sense in your own body. And then bring your attention to your rib cage and your lungs and your heart. Visualize these aspects of your physical body and then feel them. Feel your lungs expand and contract. Feel your lungs, feel the space in your lungs, your ribs. Let's see if you can notice your heartbeat. And then bring your awareness to the shoulder girdle. Notice its structure, the collarbones, even the shoulder blades, the shoulder joints. And then feel into all the aspects of your shoulder girdle, the tops of your shoulders, the shoulder joints, even the armpits. What do you feel? Bring awareness to your arms. Visualize your arms extending out from your shoulders, traveling down through your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, all the way down to your hands. You can see your arms in your mind and now feel them. How do your arms feel? Notice the palms of your hands and each of your fingers and feel them. Bring awareness now to your neck. Notice the shape of your neck, like this bottleneck in your own physical body, a narrowing. And what moves through that space? Take a moment just to feel into your neck. Notice the back of your head, the crown of your head, your forehead. Notice your face. Notice the whole of your head. Be aware of the physicality of your head. Visualizing your head. What color is your hair, your eyes? Visualize your face. And then feel. Feel the muscles in your face. Relax between the eyebrows. Relax the jaw. Notice within the brain. Notice any tension. And then I want you to take a moment now as we're focusing on our brain to just shift your attention to your left hemisphere of your brain and see if you can tune into just that side of your brain. And then feel a central point right at the center of your brain. And then feel the right side of your body. Observe the right side of your body and feel the right side of your body. Left brain, right body. And then switch sides. See the right hemisphere of the brain. Feel the right hemisphere of the brain. Go right to the center of your brain and then see the left of your body and feel the left side of your body. Left body, right side of the brain. And then I want you to bring awareness to your central channel. Noticing your spinal column and then visualizing a few inches around that, maybe a little wider, like an energetic column, your central channel. And then I want you to visualize that there's another sort of pranic tube or column to the right that is your masculine energy. And then also visualize a column to the left that is your feminine. And I want you to visualize these two columns merging at the center, coming into the center, into unification. So that we know in all of our multi-dimensionality that we have access to both aspects to in every moment, in every choice, we can call on the qualities of the masculine and we can call on the qualities of the feminine to fully receive, be aligned and to receive. And once again, observing how does this feel for you? Ready, just slowly bring awareness back into the physical body. Let's just allow the body to just make some little movements. Your fingers, your toes. Take a little bit more of a deeper breath. And if you wish, you can stay on the ground to complete practice, or you can come up to sitting. When you feel ready, let's bring hands to the heart. Take a moment to feel a sense of gratitude in the heart space for our awareness, for our capacity to be able to see and to feel. Bring your hands up to your forehead. May we have clarity in our perception, and at the throat. May we have truth in our expressions, and hands at the heart. May we feel joy. Namaste.